give it a try, and then try to find in where Christianity can culminate in and where they are opposing in many of our beliefs, you know.
In our teachings, we as teachers, we will not teach religion to our classes. We will mainly teach asanas. So that's not that important. It was just a personal idea
Yes,
what we
because
kind of
yoga is
discussed
beyond
later.
religions,
So
and
yeah,
even yoga doesn't say that I belong to Sanatana Dharma. It is beyond all religions. It is practice with the implementation of theoretical aspects of Upanishads. So, as Vedas are general for everyone, yoga is also general for everyone. Nobody can own it, nobody can disown it.
yes, exactly. So please don't take this as a mandatory request. It is not a mandatory request. I don't want to discuss religion. It's not about that. It's very
Thank
difficult to
you.
put in words. I know you
Yes.
understand the main reason, but it's such putting it in words is such limited information.
Yes, Simona. Yeah. It would have been better if you come down to us, visit somewhere,
Oh, I
visit
so
us
much
sometime.
want that. I so
We'll
much
have
want that.
to, we'll have a one-to-one conversation. That time, definitely I can throw light more upon these aspects. But in a platform like this, we would go upon general concepts rather than, you know, personal things.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Hello.
please.
Hi,
Thank
hi,
you very
Cassie.
much. I won't keep any more of your time because we need to start anyway.
No
Thank you.
problem, no problem. Manish, is it good to start? Okay, okay. Because okay. We'll start with a small prayer. Mm. Today's discussion would be on overcoming raga and dvesha, attractions and repulsions of this universe, you know, or towards this universe which we are pulled into and retracted from. This is going to be a difficult task for me. I'll come to that with the example of mine, because I myself haven't overcome mine. So I do not know whether I'm eligible enough to teach you the methodologies. So first of all, I take, you know, pardon from the divine trio who is right above me, right above you all, blessing us all, that please show some pardon unto me, because I'm not eligible for discussing such things to you. But still, what I learned from my mistakes, what I could recognize, I can definitely share with you all. I'll start with a small prayer. That's the prayer on Bhagavad Gita. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततत्कतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः. The chant is actually done as an opening prayer for Bhagavad Gita, but this chant is on self, you know, it's for the self, the pure self consciousness that we have. Yes, Manish.
So, before you start, can I ask you some questions from the last session which remained unanswered? And this is
Yes,
my
yes.
understanding that can mislead to some people. So some topics. Okay. First question I will start is, last time you said that whatever the topic was, prayer is very important, but I'm a non-religious person, so I don't believe in prayers. So can you please tell me how a
Yeah,
non-religious
yeah, Manish, just as I answered Simona a while ago, prayer is not a form of religion. If you delve deep into the concepts of what prayer is, then you understand prayer is actually working upon short positive statements with act of surrender. Okay, so that for that you don't need religion. The real sense of spirituality will make you pray. You know, whom do you pray? That's the question that everybody has in their mind. Whom do we pray? I'll come down to that part when I discuss overcoming raga and dvesha. But in a nutshell, I could say you always have a role model, or you always have a person who inspires you in life. And then every time while you look upon him, him or her, I shouldn't be gender specific, him or her, you see that he almost put him or her into a situation where he is always right, and then you try to learn or imbibe certain things from him or her. So you can pray to that person. It can be your father, it can be your mentor, it can be your philosopher, it can be your guide, for that matter. For Swamiji, it was Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who was a father figure and a guru to him, right? So you, if you have the punya, if you have the good karma in yourself, you will find such persons, around you. Such person or persons. Again, I shouldn't be specific. So you can pray unto him or her. It is just surrendering all the actions mentally, and then taking a short, sweet, positive statement and continuously repeating it mentally. That's the prayer. Like today, I started with a prayer on self. You can worship yourself. You don't need anyone also. Guru hu, the word guru hu means one who dispels the inner darkness within you. Guhuhu, ruhuhu. That's how it is disintegrated. And say, when you have some problem inside, when you have some conflict inside, the guru, the spiritual wisdom, can be within and can be outside also. He can, pull you out from the clutches of your problems, pull you out from the clutches of the darkness, and push you towards that light of wisdom. So for that matter, anyone you could be worshipping and you could be praying upon. Okay, I hope I answered your question.
It was good. Second question. Last time you said a kid cries because he wants his attention from his mother. That is because of the samsaras from the last birth. But my,
It is the previous impression. It is because of the previous impression. It could understand that I am hungry. There is some inconvenience within me, and is this mother? There's this female around me who will always be at service and then help me out. And that's because we have learned it from the previous birth, because these are the basic instincts that we have. We might have been a small deer kid. Okay, even the deer kids have hunger, right? So that kind of instincts comes through previous births, and it doesn't happen, it doesn't originate, emerge out as such.
so my understanding is, I don't believe in this samskara. Okay, I think is we are born with such an intellect. This is the intellect given to us by the nature, and that intellect shows us. Because if we have imprints from the last birth, then a kid will not be afraid of shadows. Kids will know what the mirror is. So they don't
Yes.
know. This is the only intellect that the nature gives to them, and that's the reason. So they understand there is nothing like samskaras from the last birth when it comes to crying for the food?
Uh, when it comes to crying for the food, it is definitely samskaras because um, we have 5 different layers inside us, Manish. One, first layer is Annamaya Kosha, the body. Two, the second layer is Mano, Pranamaya Kosha, the vital energy. You know, it is not definitely inside, it is in and around us, okay? And then the third layer that we have is the Manomaya Kosha, the mind, the conglomeration of thoughts, all the emotional faculties, you know, are there. And then the fourth one is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the intellect that you are speaking. All these samskaras are lodged inside this unconscious mind, you know, lodged inside this unconscious mind, Manomaya Kosha. And it has been constantly tested by your intellect, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Okay. So it is the push and pull of your Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha which says this is this, but I don't agree this. Okay. So we say in yoga therapy, when you strike the balance between Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha, then there you'll be able to fight against your own stress. Like there is this information given to you, roses or red. Okay, then you go down to a garden and then see roses are white, roses are yellow, you know. But in general, the roses are red. That is a fact. So when you know more about something, then sometimes what happens is that the preconceived thoughts, the preconceived information get in contact with the new information, and that's how they emerge in a tug of war, and there you are under stress, you know. So when you could balance that, like for example, for the same example, with the same example, I would be able to elucidate a little more. A child is born with samskaras. It or she or he, you know, gains it from the wisdom layer, you know. Samskaras and vasanas are being lodged inside the mind. Intellect is also one fine quality of the mind, you know. But it opposes the mind only when mind goes against the values, right? Um, I do not know how far I could explain this more. Uh, Sometimes it so happens that things that we receive go against our beliefs. Like Simona was just narrating her parents' thing with her, that her parents are more religious, but she, on her personal behalf, didn't like that religion much, didn't find it to be relatable, and then she didn't find, you know, that religion has to be a part of her life anymore. So she's away from it. Now, beliefs are not that which is imposed upon you. Okay? Beliefs have to be, uh, you definitely have a set of beliefs. You know, I believe water is hydrogen 2 particles, oxygen 1 particle. I believe that. So I definitely don't experiment every time in the lab and then I understand it. Once that is being proved, then I start to believe it, right? So similarly, such things are already being proved by our rishis and munis, that certain activities that we do, certain instincts that we follow are through previous karmas or through previous births. If you don't believe in rebirth, that's your belief. I can't impose things upon you. But when you get to know certain things, you lodge it inside. You definitely keep that inside. Aurelia mailed me a poem today. I mailed her back, thanking her, saying that Anu Badraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha. Let all noble thoughts come from different corners of the universe. But we should be open enough, you know, understand the credibility, and then find it how relatable it is to me, understand by experiencing it and make it as a belief. Like hydrogen 2 molecules and oxygen 1 molecule is water, you know. That's how I believed it to be. You know, I didn't definitely do the lab experimentation. Um, so that's a long explanation. I don't know whether you got it or not.
So yes, still I understand what you are saying. I will look into the Vedas where these things have been proven and try to find my answer from there. I know that if I've been, it has been proven that you should give penicillin injection on dog bites, then I don't have to have a dog bite and put penicillin injections
Correct.
in me and
Very true. I used to say
yes.
a remark that my English teacher, who taught me 11th standard, 12th standard, wrote in my autograph book. It said, "A fool learns by his own mistakes." Like me, I learn by my own mistakes, but a wise learns by others' mistakes. Right. So my mistake, what is it? What is it? And what was it? And how did I learn from overcoming my attraction and repulsion? Coming back to the topic,
Okay.
first of all, we'll understand what is attraction, what is repulsion. Yeah, Manish.
One question is still pending. Okay, this because I see at one point I misunderstood these things, and I think that others also may have misunderstood these things. So I just want to clear all these things. Okay, so last time was my understanding that you said instead of your discussing your problems, you should detach from your problems, and psychotherapy is not a good tool. Okay,
No,
so
no,
this.
no, no. Um, Psychotherapy definitely will help those depressive, obsessive compulsive disorder patients, because any mental derangement, for that matter, you know, um, it can be mild anxiety, it can be a panic attack, it can be a mild depressive symptom, it can be, what can I call, adenophobia, dysthymia, like there's not having little of pleasure from the life, they don't sense anything. So from this extreme to that extreme, you should understand the work that you have to do is not in your body, but in your mind. But there are certain disorders which occurs because of the chemical imbalances occurring in the brain, like OCDs, like dysthymia, anhedonia, and many other mental disorders which occurs through chemical imbalances. At this juncture, it is not wise to work upon, yoga only, or any other complementative therapy, alternative therapy. There you should be seeking the help of psychiatric drugs where such chemical balances can be done. What happens when dopamine is completely, deprived? You are deprived of dopamine. You have to take supplies, right? It's wise. So you understand the extremes. Once you have this chemical balance, and then along with it you work with the psyche through yoga, then proper therapy, it I will call that to be a holistic kind of approach in therapies. I hope Aurelia will agree to it, because she is also a therapist. Manish is also a therapist. I hope you understand that intensity.
If I can ask one more thing here. For example, you said you have to work at the level of the mind most of the time. And I agree with that. But if we're talking about impressions, like you talked before, for example, if you have something that was has a mark in your body also, because sometimes when you feel this pull of going in through a certain direction, is somehow you feel it out of your control, but you feel it in your
Christina is
body.
back to the topic, she doesn't want any other questions to be entertained. What
This topic.
happens when universe attracts you to its paraphernalia? You just fall for it, right? That's her question. So coming back to the topic,
Okay.
overcoming raga and dvesha. Raga is attraction, Dvesha is repulsion. And this is what is happening, like, you know, have you seen a catapult? You know, if you pull one end of the catapult, the other end, the stone moves away. Now, if you pull the other end of the catapult, the palm that is utilizing the catapult is being strained. So you're always pulled or pushed, pulled towards your attractions, the attractions that cosmos, the universe attract you to. And then you repel, you avoid certain people, you avoid certain circumstances because you feel that it would be miserable. You know, that's what Rishi Patanjali says. Sukhanushayi ragaha, dukhanushayi dveshaha. Sukha means pleasure, dukkha means worry. It's easy. So sukha anushayi ragaha. All attractions are pleasure oriented. All repulsions, all dvesha, all those things that you hate, that you avoid, are based on misery, are misery oriented, worry oriented, sorrows oriented. Now he calls these two as the cause of suffering. How can this be cause of suffering? I love to be a chartered accountant. I love to wear sari. I love to, paint my house. I love to, be with kids. Loving is what we actually, thrive for in life. While we think about our life, it is just, either we fast forward the entire episode and then see a life, beautiful life, swimming pool, beautiful bungalow, ocean ahead, coconut trees, that's what we see. And then while we want to go back, we always recapitulate those thoughts which made us pleasure, which gave us pleasure, right? So attractions are so many and so, nectar like, that we fall into that nectar like honeybees. Sometimes we become houseflies also. Fall for muck and dirt, right? So these are unavoidable. Honeybees falling for nectar, houseflies falling for all bad, worst stuff, right? Patanjali calls this as suffering because all that you seek as pleasure, all that you avoid as misery are permanent. Are permanent because you think that pleasures, if I obtain a place, if I obtain or achieve something in life, I would be happy. And then I'll be free from miseries. That's a wrong notion. Product of Maya are these Raga and Dvesha. What is Maya? Maya, I'll come down to that, but in a nutshell, I would love to elucidate it. Maya is the power of the Lord, is the power of this entire cosmos. And all our attractions and repulsions are the product of the small, small kids of this Maya. And once you get this misery, it'll never stay, okay? It will also go. The time, the phase of misery will also go. And then you will have pleasures in life, sukha coming into life. And then once you obtain that sukha, obtain that pleasure, what do you think? They should stay. But doesn't stay. For example, every woman out there, has this dream of getting proposed, having a beautiful life with a stable partner, and one day this happens. One fine day this happens and everybody is allured, joyous about this event. What happens after marriage? Everybody knows. So we think things are very pleasing. But when you get to delve deep into such events, No event is pleasing without a mixture of misery in it. No event is miserable without a tinge of pleasure in it, lesson in it. Unless until, misery comes, you are just a charcoal. When the misery is being, experienced, and then you learn things with the hammering of those miseries, the charcoal turns into a diamond. The carbon turns into a diamond with all those hammerings, don't you see? Now, hence, Rishi Patanjali says pleasure and misery are two causes of suffering because they always go together. And when you seek pleasure, that is raga. When you seek misery, when you avoid miserable situations, that is dvesha. Is this wonderful event that had happened in Swamiji's life. Swamiji is in front of me also. Swamiji's life. Swamiji, I mean Swami Vivekananda. He had this Bharat Brahmana. He walked all over the nation, India. And at one place called Sarnath, after visiting the Buddhistic monasteries and the temples, he comes back and then faces a set of monkeys. You know how monkeys are. When they come in 30s and 40s, they are never monkeys, they are lions themselves. So it started to actually scare Swamiji with all this absurd noises and all. No, they were ready to pounce upon Swamiji. Swami Vivekananda was scared, literally scared. He was very fearful that it could do some harm to him. So he started to run, and there were 50, 60 monkeys behind him. And suddenly, after, running for some time, he got reminded of Upanishadic saying that encounter your problems, face your problems with courage. What he did was to, he stopped at that very point, and when he stopped, the monkeys got alarmed. He just twisted his entire body and faced those monkeys with his, the vision that he has, how strong and how intense his eyes are, how beautiful his eyes look, with that courage, with that intent. He faced those monkeys, and monkeys thought that now that he has become stronger, I think monkeys might have got a wrong assumption that he had got some, stick or something. They ran back. They ran back. And then Swamiji said, this is how you face all your problems. And with this idea, I did a mistake. This mistake happened 2 days ago. Well, I work with a group of people. When you work with a group of people, you have your own viewpoints and people differ, these things happen. So there was this project that we were discussing upon, some building construction, and that's very much important for the forum to happen. So I placed the viewpoint that there should be this building coming up, and I placed my viewpoint there. I opined for that building to be constructed. And you know what happens when a meeting is done? No two people can be the same. So there were different viewpoints, and I could sense a kind of selfishness in the other viewpoints. So I thought it is ethically wrong. When you see good things at large, there shall be some probable, mishappenings in your life. So you have to forgo all those things, and you should always think good about the institution as a whole. So it is good for the institution. So I kept on arguing, no. This project should get approved. This should be in our, in our hands, and this should be done. And I own that project, so I was firm in it. it so happened, I'm very ashamed to tell that the meeting didn't end very well because we picked up at this heat of this arguments, we picked up a great fight at the heights, that there was no guns of Navron as such, but literally we were firing against one with other, you know. And there were many emotional, I should say, interchange of statements where, you know, he or she wanted to put me down, and I did the same, you know. I also did the same. And then after that event, my dear, I didn't feel very right. Why? My intellect was constantly thinking this is ethically right, this is how an institution has to be kept up. I was right, I should have been more, you know, firm in my viewpoint. But the intellect, other than the ego, other than the attraction to, you know, ethics, said that whatever that ended well should be good, but it didn't end well, which means you have done something wrong. Because I ended up with guilt, I ended up with worry. Any action, my dear friends, please learn from my mistakes. Any action that you do, you repent later, you have guilt for it, you feel, you know, sorrowful after that, is not a good action. You think that you are the person who is very good. That is what our ego makes us do. Okay. We have done talking about ego. Now here I'm talking about a mild form of ego, which is attraction. Attraction towards, you know, my project, my viewpoint. You know, that was there. That was very thin, that I couldn't identify. I think I was doing right. But I have earned enmity. I have earned a sense of, you know, languor in this activity, a sense of guilt after that activity, which is not good. I thought, like Swamiji, let me face this problem with courage. Let me plunge into the action, you know. But Swamiji's example, I couldn't see it holistically. Here, the mistake that I did was identifying myself with that mind's voice, with this mind viewpoint, completely getting attached to that raga, attraction. I will definitely say that if you have a sale going on, you find n number of garments, those garments can attract you, you know, or a weekend vacation can attract you. Sorry, Christina is having one. I'm not going to ruin that. But yes, they can definitely attract you. These attractions are very much there. But once you identify yourself with those attractions, there lies misery. Understand what happens with vacations. Vacations are good, but they are not permanent solutions to your stress. Why does a person go for a holiday? To de-stress, right? To de-stress. But why is he coming back on Monday having the same stress? It doesn't provide you, it just provides you a temporal solution, right? That's what Rishi Patanjali and Bhagavad Gita even says, that these attractions are wonderful. But when you identify with it, then that misery, that the tinge of misery is with you. So be ready. You have to face that also. Uh, the second thing, the second lesson that I learned is, from this very episode, is that I got swayed away from my swadharma, looking at someone else's dharma, paradharma. Swadharmo nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha, Gita says, Krishna says, which says, however small, petty your work is, you be concentrated only towards that piece of work. Don't get attracted by someone else. And this thing happened in my episode. I wanted my institution to flourish, thinking that some other XY forum had been flourishing with this kind of project. So that actually created an impression in me that this project has to happen. Perhaps it can happen. Perhaps it will not happen for this institution. Perhaps it can happen 20 years later. But me finding myself as an instrument in doing this, just because it popped out in my mind, identifying my mind's attraction to my own viewpoint, had done the incredible blunder. I hope I'm clear. If I'm making this mess, because I know I've already created one at the institution. If I'm not clear, please clear to you. If I'm not able to clarify you, please interfere me, stop me and then ask me questions. So this two mistakes that we do with Raga and Dvesha, attraction and repulsion. One is identifying mind's attraction to be me. Two is not getting glamorized by someone else and then ruining our own life's work. Like there are n number of things to ruin our life, One is Facebook, two is Twitter, three is Instagram. You see people happy all the time over there. You see people going for vacations all the time. You see people having beautiful relationships, which we know very well that they are masking themselves, right? They are blinding themselves and then portraying something else which they are not. We very well knew. But still, that very idea of grasping that information from Instagram had created an image and a thought inside your mind, and you try to identify. Next time I go with my family to Bali for vacation. That is dangerous, Krishna says. There is no end to it, I say. And that's what happened in my episode. And I did a terrible mistake. So I plead forgiveness from you all, from the divine trio, that I'm not eligible to teach you, but still you can get those glimpses of what you should be doing with this episode. Now coming back to Raga and Dvesha, as I said, Raga and Dvesha, attractions and repulsions, are two beautiful kids of something called Maya, right? What does this Maya mean? Krishna says, Mama Maya Duratyaya. My powers are unconquerable. God reveals that I have created this universe to be so confusing, so beautiful, that you will fall for all the confusions, all the attractions. And he says it is unconquerable. Why is this God like this? Is he a God? To this, I would answer in a better manner. Like you have this academics, you go to school, you have a complete syllabus of mathematics, of history, of geography, of physics and chemistry, n number of subjects. And then teacher teaches you with the principles, they make you aware of things. And then later on, after 6 months or so, you appear for a half-yearly examination. God or life is just opposite of it. You get inducted to the samsara school, the world school. You're first going to appear for that examination, which, is levied by it. And then after appearing for the examination, you learn the lessons. The entire syllabus is open in your mind. Then comes clarity. So that's how life puts you tests you time and again and gives you lessons. It's the opposite way out. We are not, we are not so acclimatized with it because school system doesn't, follow the system. We are so acclimatized to the school system. And when life throws surprises, we get, shocked by it. Why is it happening? Not understanding that it is us who made this happen. Coming back to Maya. Maya is this unconquerable power of Lord. So if at all this is unconquerable, how can we conquer this? How can I, Christina's answer here. How can I get rid of all those roller coaster ride of life? Life is such a roller coaster ride. All booms, all depressions, all sukha, all dukkha, all pleasure, all miseries. Why am I falling for it? I don't know. I'm already into that ride. How can I get rid of this ride? How can I enjoy this ride? Coming back to that roller coaster, people enjoy and shriek less. People enjoy more and shriek less only when they have a detached attitude. When they could see them sitting and then see outside the entire view and enjoy that ride. Don't you see? They are sturdy people. There are few like me who will shriek. There are many girls who are here. They will definitely shriek. Who shrieks in the roller coaster ride? It's me. It's only me. You don't shriek. I yell a lot. Christina also yells a lot. Yes.
Me too, yeah.
Yes, Florina. Thank you. I thought I was alone. But you could see certain people who are very stable, they smiles at you. Why? They've got that. They have learned that. That's what you're going to do. Okay, let me give you a small example. How do you see the entire world? Can you unmute yourself and then give me the answer? How do you see the world?
Can I say?
Yeah.
Well, when I am in my
No, Christina, it's just a simple question. How do you see the mountains outside? Can you see a mountain outside? Trees outside? How do you see them? How do you see them?
How?
Yes,
Like,
with what mechanism you're seeing them?
with my mind.
No, with your
with my eyes, but also with my mind.
Yes, okay. And we'll come to that part a little while later. So first answer is eyes and the cosmos. Eyes and the universe, right? Eyes can see everything in this universe, but for
Itself.
Yes,
Itself.
but for itself. Eyes can't see them, right? Now going back a little more deep into this fact. There's this cosmos, there is eyes. Now let me understand, how do I see my eyes? Don't say that if I'm before a mirror or if I'm before my Zoom sessions, I could see my eyes. Don't say that. But how do I sense my eyes are twitching? My eyes, are, I feel that redness, my eyes are watery. How do I sense that?
By
With my
awareness.
mind. Yes, awareness is in mind, Christina, with your mind. So there's this eyes and a deeper substratum mind. Now, how do I see my mind? How do I feel my mind? How do you know that you have mind?
With the intellect.
No, actually, there is someone inside you who watches all those intellect and mind. What happens when Manish makes you lie down in Shavasana and gives this instruction, beautiful, relaxing instructions? He says your left leg is relaxing, your right thorax is relaxing, your eyeballs are relaxing, your head is relaxing. There is someone deep within witnessing the body getting relaxed, witnessing the mind who is enjoying that relaxation also. Now you know very well you are not this cosmos, you are not this eyes, you are not this mind, you are someone way behind the all of these. Understood? That witness is what you are. Maya, the veil of Maya can be removed only when you understand this witness to be you. While I was arguing to that fellow, what did I do? What did I do? I was treating my mind and viewpoint as me. One beautiful example Dr. H.R. Nagendra used to give. There's a small bridge and there are two cars coming in front, that this fellow will never, stop, and this fellow will never stop. He starts to yell at this fellow saying that you go behind. Now he starts to yell at this fellow. He says, you go behind. Nobody is, coming to peace, and it's just standing over there. Now, like I did, I picked up the fight. They also picked up the fight. They came down from the car and started fighting. And get your car down. And he says, you pull your car down. Literally, if he says, you go down, you go behind, and he goes behind, the problem is not solved. Now here, they have identified themselves as their cars. And this is the problem. This is Maya. This is this ice rink. It is like an ice rink. You are in Romania, you must have, enjoyed that ice rink. What happens in that ice rink? Well, you have all the fun and pleasure going in the ride of the ice rink. At the same time, it is very slippery. Once you fall, it is very difficult for you to stand up, right? You get, in that, what do you call that? The muck, dirt and watery phase, the quicksand. Yes, it's like a quicksand. When you work more, you are more pulled down, right? So Maya is that ice rink. And hence, even after learning Gita, even after understanding Valmiki, my mother was asking me, you have the background of Valmiki, Ramayana and Gita. Why did you pick up this fight? Now I got the answer. Maya is unconquerable. Mundaka Upanishad says, people think they are very smart. I think I am very smart. I think I am very knowledgeable. Why? Because I have identified myself in my perhaps these good studies, this knowledge even. This is Maya. This is that veil that I have put forth. Mundaka Upanishad says Maya is way smarter than us. The entire cosmos is way smart, way intelligent more than you. Now how to get rid of this ice rink, how to enjoy, have the fun, and also You might be slippery, you might be falling, and then how to get up. I remember once I was talking about this Maya to a student where I gave an example. How can you climb Mount Everest without falling? Even the experts like Sherpas, what do? They try to place the foot on the snowy part and then say that, oh, this part is, actually making my foot go slippery. And then they show the path, no, don't go this way, go this way, right? They lead the path where it is less slippery. Everybody slips, everybody falls down in this ice rink. And one could climb well only when one could stand up and tread the path, right? How do you stand up? How do you conquer this Maya? Guru and Shastras are the two manuscripts, are the two manuals through which you conquer this Maya. Who is a Guru? Please don't tell me I am Guru. I am no Guru. I am still climbing the Mount Everest. But you will find one like all these three. Ma Sharda, Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, or Swami Vivekananda. You will find them in your spiritual path. I got connected to them, not necessary that you will also be. You will find one. Christina is more attuned to Ramana Maharshi, even me. Yes. So you will find one. You will find that thing is more relatable to me. Why is this gurudom very important in spirituality? People, fake a lot. People earn millions with this gurudom. Why should I fall for this? This is again a great Maya. Guru is the person who would ignite your mind and not make you fall as a prey. Okay. So finding a guru itself is a great episode. Have you learned about Swami Vivekananda? He, from the very beginning of his adolescence, was asking person to person whether you have seen God. Have you seen God? Have you seen God? Have you seen God? Have you seen God? All the time. He was walking, talking like a maniac. Unless until he found Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And then he asked the same question. Do you see God? Have you ever seen God? You know what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said? Much clearer than how I see you now. He is the real Guru. And then he made him see the Lord himself. He made Swamiji. It's just not by saying that he had seen the God. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa made Swamiji to see the divine eyes of Kali Ma, the goddess. He made him see. He is the real Guru. Why is this Guru, holding the key for the Maya? When he locks it open, then the Maya is dispelled and there is wisdom. Why is that? Why is he more important? God, Kabir Das says, when God and Guru comes together unto me, the first one that I would prostrate would be Guru and not God. Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? It's because God has this one eye for kindness, another vision, another eye for punishing. If you do something wrong, if you do something good, he will reward you. If you do something wrong, he will definitely punish you, because that is how he is managing the entire karmic cycle to be. He is bound with it. No. Actually, he is unbounded by the karmic cycle, but he follows that karmic thing very properly. But Guru, on the other hand, is very compassionate, that he knows that Lalitha will mess the situation, mess her official relationship. She will go into argumentative things, you know. She will put all those funny stuff, you know, and then she will come back unto me. Let me bless her. Let me be compassionate enough, giving her one more opportunity, you know, to climb that Everest, if she is ready to stand up, you know. Hence, my dear friends, Guru has this key who could unlock Maya, you know, unlock Maya in the sense dispel Maya and then unlock wisdom unto you. If you don't believe in Guru, yes, you will definitely believe in this Lord Almighty. Or, Simona, if you don't believe in Lord Jesus, you can believe in that divine energy which takes your life, you know, smoothly. Amidst all those conflicts, amidst all those roller coaster rides of life, it is this grace of that divine energy that takes you through, Simona. Do you believe it or not? I hope you're there.
I believe in Jesus. Just
Oh,
that
you believe in.
I believe in Jesus, but I think he was a human and he was a good yogi, honestly. He was
Yes,
so
yes.
kind. This is why I
Excellent.
believe the same religion is the same. I think when he was 30 years missing, going in the desert, he became aware of everything and he found the true love, which we cannot express in words. So
Right.
I do believe in Jesus. I
Yes,
believe
you
that
do believe.
we're all human and we all have this capability, that just
Sorry,
that we
I
don't
had the
have the
wrong
chance.
notion. Sorry, I had the
Yeah,
wrong
I
notion.
know. This is why I said it's difficult to say in words.
Yes,
I
yes,
believe that the two religions are exactly the same. And Jesus was a
yes.
great yogi and a great loving person for everybody.
Don't take yoga
But
as
that is
religion
my
again.
personal.
Don't take Vedanta as religion again. It is not a
Yeah.
religion, but it is a way of perceiving life.
Yeah, this is why I want that notion to be clear for me in the discussions that we have.
Yeah.
It's very
So
difficult to put it in
later
words.
on,
Thank you.
Christianity didn't, you know, emerge while Christ was there. Christ didn't want a religion to happen. You know. Christianity came up later on with many perverted ideas I shouldn't be talking about. But still, anyways, moving ahead of religion, I'm just saying that if you are a theist, you believe in Lord. If you are atheist, you believe in divine cosmic energy, right? Anything that you believe, anything that you rely upon, if you could surrender all the yoga and kshema, which I was mentioning previously, all the activities unto him, it is, you know, you will be more peaceful. You are not a person whom you can keep on correcting people that he was right, he was wrong, he had a, criminal idea, he did something, she did something wrong to me. You are not a person who could correct people. If you're going to do that, my God, you will be the most, you know, anxious person. You will be the most depressed person in the world because you never correct any. But not going more into stuck into ethics, if you could find yourself away from all these things, then you will be way more peaceful. Maya will make you tensed. Maya will pull you towards people, pull you towards circumstances, pull you towards all the beautiful things that it could show up. But you can see the difference between you and your mind, right? It is like, you know, a lunatic dancing before you. Okay, he's dancing. He's a lunatic, he's dancing before you. How will you behave? You will just ignore him, right? He's a lunatic, he's dancing naked, okay. That's how your mind dances with all sorts of devilish stuff that could come up only when you identify yourself. I didn't see myself, you know, using all those words, you know, devilish prone, demonic prone words I could use while I was argumenting with that fellow. Why? Why did that happen? only when I identified myself with the mind, that viewpoint. When I don't identify myself, when I put myself away, like I could see my eyes are different from me, my mind is different from me, so me, I, is someone very different who could witness this mind, witness this I, witness this cosmos. When you have that depth, coming back and forth, you will fall. Again, you will raise with this wisdom. You'll fall again. Again, you will raise with this wisdom. This is how you practice yoga of the mat. Are you stable in Vrikshasana? No. Sometimes we do all the disco dances in Vrikshasana, right? You fall with this Vrikshasana, with the tree pose. So that kind of wisdom has to happen. I here want to actually read on to you the beautiful poem, just one paragraph what Aurelia sent to me, which is very relatable to the episode that I was discussing you with, and which is very relatable to me, Aurelia. I am way more thankful than how I feel thankful for you for this, which says, if they reach for you, go faster. Hold your tongue when slanders yell. Your advice they cannot master. Don't you know they measure well? Let them talk. Like, if I have to give that piece of advice and then change that particular fellow, why should I actually put forth the advice and find its measure? Don't I myself know how gravitatiously important that advice is? You know, why should I have to put forth and find a change in someone instead I could change myself, you know? Don't you know their measure well? Your advice they cannot master. Don't you know their measure well? Let them talk and let them chatter. Let them talk and let them chatter. Let all go past young and old. Yes, it is from Glosa Mihai Eminescu. Thank you, Aurelia, for that. Let them talk and let them chatter. Let all go past young and old, unattached to man or matter. Unattached to man, unattached to matter. You remain aloof and cold. You remain aloof and cold. So it is not being aloof at home, watching videos, doing the video games. It is being aloof from your own mind, my dear. And here I would make a mild suggestion, not cold, but with warm love, I should say. Aloof and warm with love. So when you have that love, then you understand, okay, this is his nature. This is how he or she will react. This is how it has to be. Why should I force myself, plunge into all sorts of actions and become them? Where the very purpose of my life is moksha, is freedom from all these. Now, what have I done by trying to change the entire cosmos, by, imposing all the ethics and values? What did I do? I have shaken my peace. I have become that fellow, right? So that Maya makes you do. That is what Maya exactly is. And that is how it will work. It will function. You will become a dhira. You will become a courageous, determined fellow, a person. Upanishad says this, not me. Only when you could detach yourself from all those eyes that see, ears that hear, nose that smell, skin that touches, tongue that taste, all those attractions, when you could detach yourself and then implement that into your life time and again. Maya will pull you down, you come again. She will pull you down, you come again. It is very beautiful in Sanatana Dharma, in yoga, in Vedanta, in all the systems, basically. Maya is never treated poisonous. Will you, it is treated as divine being, divine female being. Here you see people actually worshipping snakes. Manish might be knowing it. Manish might perhaps, tell you stories about worshipping snakes. Gujaratis do very much. And then down south in Tamil Nadu and Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, all the states of India do. They do worship snakes. Why do they worship snakes? They very well know that snakes are poisonous. They very well know even while we place milk, it will eat all the milk, it will drink all the milk, but it will provide you not milk, but poison alone. But still, that poison, that Maya, actually is a lesson for you, And hence, every poison is also treated divine. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, Thakur over here, the guru of, it is very difficult to place your finger with the zoom thing. It is very mirror image that is happening. Sorry. So the one in the middle row. Can you see him? Yes. He is Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He gives beautiful analogies. He makes things makes people understand who are thick-headed also with his small petty examples. He says, tiger is also Narayana. Tiger is also divine. It doesn't mean that you have to, prostrate before tiger, it will eat you up. He says, with that distance only you can, worship him. Snake is also Narayana. Snake is also divine. But it definitely does not mean that you, get bitten by the snake. It is with distance you worship. Hence, there are people out there. There are fellows out there who will destroy your peace, who might be poisonous, who might be evildoers, who can disrupt your peace, who can ruin your life, You very well know. So, keep a distance. But not with repulsion, avoiding, he is my enemy. No. But with worship and love. The love, the unconditional love, what Simona was just talking about. There's a, can we have 10 more minutes, Manish, because we started late.
Yeah, if they have, we have.
Okay. If you are all willing to, can we just, 10 minutes. Okay. So, coming back to the breaking or conquering Maya. Conquering Maya is through grace of God or grace of Guru. If you don't believe in God, again, I would definitely say you definitely believe in grace of divine energy. Put everything unto him, We call Narayana, we call this divine being, divine energy as Arthartha Parayana Narayanaha, which says crisis management Lord. If you are in a crisis, he will manage your crisis. There are troubleshooting programs in computer. No, we call the Lord as troubleshooter. How do we call it? Dukkha Nivritartha. The troubleshooter, God, the troubleshooter. So believe in that ultimate grace. Have faith in it. Have faith in some superior divine energy and work along with the path of spirituality. this is the only way to overcome Raga and Dvesha, Christina. You'll again be a housefly, you will again be a honeybee. But once when you end up with all the honey, a honeybee will never store any more honey. They are not like humans to accrue wealth, They are
If I can
self-satisfied.
ask you, if I can ask you something, so the thing is, I can see now I cannot be my body. I can see my mind. I can see even when I'm identifying with some things. And I understand the idea of the attraction and repulsion in this way. But I think in the end, what I have experienced is that my attitude has to be equanimous towards pleasure and pain, because pleasure and pain will be there. It's part of this duality. And sometimes we experience pleasure, sometimes we experience pain. But the thing is that the way that you look at that pain and pleasure, it's what makes you at peace or keeps you at peace or not. So when I was talking about attraction and repulsions, I am thinking also of this thing. Okay, right now I know, maybe I know, or I say I know, but life comes and puts me in some situation and shows
Maya
me.
is smarter than us.
Yeah, exactly. And shows me where I am, what is the
Yeah.
point that I am, and then puts me in this kind of situation and shows me there is some interest in something, in some illusion or Maya or something. So I can see it. I end up in this situation. I can see it. I acknowledge that there is some interest in that. But this comes my question: what do I do? Because if I'm put in this situation, maybe this is an opportunity for me to really clear that out. So I need to enter in this, or I should stay aside of this, even though it's like a karmic attraction to this thing, so I can solve it once and for all. Let's say.
Yeah. So, Christina, you very well know how you will react when the mind wants you to react. Like I did, my mind wants me to react with that fellow and then, take up the heat of the arguments, talk all nonsense, I did that. That is that attraction. That is that raga towards my own viewpoint. I'll come again with the same example. So you will definitely fall into that pit hole for one or many times. But when when you find that guru and then catch hold of his feet and then say, whatever that mind is going to make me think, I'll just handle it as a, lunatic dancing before me. I'm not going to pay heed to him. I'm not going to entertain that mind because I am not my mind. I was watching this movie where the girlfriend is asking her boyfriend, saying, I do not know that there is some part in you which I don't know. The boyfriend replies, yes, there is this me which you don't know. And which makes me, do all these evil things. I don't like that part of me also. He says. So now you very well understand this mind is this beautiful circle like thing which has half evil, half good things inside. Now, when you attract yourself to the goodness, you become so egoistic that, oh, I am so good. I am so ethically right. When you get attached to this evil things, you mess up the entire situation just as I did. The only thing is not creating an equanimity between good and evil, but to just be a witness. This is not me. This is a part of me which I am not. When you have that clarity, when you could, detach yourself again, this Maya's repulsions and attractions will, just bubble out. I would again elucidate with an example. While I was taking care of my child, he ran and fell off. My son, he fell off and he got bruised. The first time he got bruised with his knee. So I said, oh, you fell off. Oh my dear, oh my honey, oh my sweetie pie, come to me. I'll put all those cold fermentations. Let me just clean it up and put this soframycin cream. Let this wounds shall be healed. He started to cry like anything. He started to scream like anything, as if I have died. The more you give attention to your child, the more it becomes emotional. There is an outburst, and mind is exactly that child. The more you give attention to all the good that it provides, all the good ideas that it provides, the more the attention that you give all the bad ideas that it provides, the more in a mess you are. You become either egoistic and you fall for the prey of all the bad events that it actually wants you to do. So it
Yes, but
is.
don't you think even your experience, your case, it was necessary because you got out of it and you
Yes,
saw
Christina,
this?
that is exactly what I'm talking about. If I end up with worry and guilt, it is not good that I did, Christina. It is not good. It is just the vent of pent up emotions that I had inside. All the devilish turns that I could do in that episode, I did.
It was a chance
That,
for you to see it, actually. It was a chance for you.
oh, that is not a good idea. I was very troubled. So my friend called me up and then said the same thing. Good thing, ma'am. She used to call me ma'am. Good thing, ma'am, that it was not in your heart. It came out completely. I do not know if lunatic is naked and lunatic is clothed. He is a lunatic only. whether it is went out, whether it's pent up inside, both seems the same thing. You know, there is lunacy. When you get identified with your mental good thoughts, you become egoistic. You think you're so wise. When you get attached to this evil thoughts, you create ruckus in your own life and others. The best thing one can do, all this lunacy happening, let it be. This is mind. You can't get away with it. You are born with it. But treat that child like a wise mother. You're bruised, okay. Just have to, scratch off all the mud at the dirt and then start playing again. Don't give much attention to that child. It is going to ruin your life and his own life. He'll be dependent all the life. He will stay with you for life. Mother child, oh, don't pay attention to that mind. Don't pay attention to that mind, because you are not what it is. It is some lunatic race, drama that is going on inside, and it will happen. It is there. Live with it. But you are not that. You know it. So be happy. Yeah. I hope, Christina, I answered you.
Yes, it was a part of the awareness of the whole situation, and it cleared some things out. So thank you.
Thank you, Christina. So 10 more minutes if you have any question. Sorry, 10 minutes I've already taken. So 3 to 5 more questions, 3 to 5 more minutes for any question. If at all there is, then we can finish off with that. Otherwise, we'll take it over tomorrow. Sorry, the next Sunday perhaps.
I have another suggestion of the topic, maybe. Between
I am
like,
getting
what
biased
is
here,
karma?
taking all the suggestions of Christina alone. Sorry.
No, not only me. It's just a suggestion to talk about the karma and the dharma, maybe.
Karma and Dharma, very interesting. I'm myself attending a program of Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani ji, where you can actually calculate your Dharma Marga with numbers and karmic cycle and its phases in your years with numbers. So next time, you could Google search, and the next time if you could find such programs of Yantra Navangam from him, please do attend. It would be in English, and it's a masterpiece. It's definitely a masterpiece, and you will get to understand your own better and people around better. It's very interesting. I can't deal that with one particular class. If at all I have to teach you people, and I don't think I'm a right person to teach, because I'm myself reading it, studying it, delving deep into it, trying to understand, analyze people with those faces. It is very, very interesting. And then when you start to know about your enemy, you get so pitiful about your enemy, enmity stops. So that great it is. So whenever there is another program coming up, I will definitely put a word through Manish ji, and you can enroll yourselves with him. I don't take any commission. I'm very sorry, but but he is definitely an authoritative person, and he deals with many ashramas are there. He deals with many people, many yoga enthusiasts all around globe. He has to be followed. There are around 60 participants in this workshop, from Italy, from London, and I do not know many, but yes, from all over, all are Westerners. It is one or two like me. You can see Indian faces, but all of them were Westerners. I hope there is no question. As I used to say, either that you have understood everything or you didn't understand anything.
No,
So there is no.
there are two questions. I think we should keep it for next time. I have two questions, so I will keep it for next time. Okay. So like we should not be in hurry that we have to finish this question and answer. So
No, if you could put forth, then I can write it down.
okay.
Otherwise, I'll forget what questions they were.
So during last session, we have you explained us that we should de-attach to our problems, and today you try to explain us that we should confront our problems. So what's the big difference there?
Mm.
Okay.
So the point where I took Swamiji's episode to confront or to encounter the problems with courage, I took that episode, or I took that lesson in a wrong manner. Swamiji wasn't identifying himself with uh, anything there. He actually was identifying with fear all the time while he was running. Then he understood, why am I getting identified with mind? I am that self, all powerful, all constructive, as Upanishad says, you know. And that's how he became courageous. And then he just had to twist his body with that wisdom. And then the monkeys ran away. I didn't get that part completely. I thought plunge into action with courage. But there is a trick there. Plunge into action with courage, but don't get identified with the lunatic that is dancing within. Don't get identified with that mind inside. So that's the catch here.
Okay, so one more question I have is, I think it will take some time. So you can write us if you have time. Otherwise, we can discuss last time. So
We'll
last,
discuss.
yeah. So lot of us are practicing yoga or are yoga teachers. So you said that we can learn detachment from shavasana. Okay. So you can explain us in detail so we can start practicing in our class and when the
Hello.
participants get
Sure,
shavasana.
done. Beautiful topic. Yeah, I heard a hello.
Yeah, there is some. My class is going to get started, no, from so
Oh,
people have
oh,
started
I
joining.
am in way of
And
your class. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm meddling down.
no problem. Okay, I will last tell you one line and then I will we can leave it. So I also remembered that when you were giving the example of Kabir, no Kabir. So Kabir and Guru, I said I also think that I have learned this way that Kabir said when the Guru and God will come in front of me, I will go first to the
And then the
Guru
Lord.
and then
Yes,
to the
yes.
God because it was only possible. I'm seeing the God because it was only
Only through
possible
Guru
through
that I
Guru.
got God. Hmm. Yes.
Yes, otherwise I would have not.
And the
Yes.
speciality why he gave prominence to Guru more than God is because Guru was compassionate enough to take a small human being and make him a great devotee of Rama and make him Kabir Das, a great poet. You know, it was Ramananda, Swami Ramananda, his guru, who made him to be Kabir Das. So the compassionate aspect that you get in Guru is way more ocean-like than Ishvara himself, than the Lord himself. This with utmost reverence to all the gurus, all the spiritual masters, I can say, I don't think God will punish me for this, but because he himself knew that he and Guru are none but one, you know, he and his own devotees of that status of Vijnani, status of wise, are one, none but one. It is there proclaimed by Ishvara, it is there proclaimed in Gita by Lord himself. So with that note, we'll end with a small prayer. I'm sorry, Robert, you should wait for one more minute and we'll end the session. Namaskar Mitra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay.
Thank you so very much.
Last
Thank you.
1 minute request. If you want, I would like to have a screenshot. So if you want to put your cameras on, you can put it on. If you want to put it off, you can put it off. So I'm taking one screenshot. So yes, again.
Please do share with me too.
Sure. Okay. So okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. Control C. Okay, let me see whether it did or not. Okay. So okay. So I sent you first, okay, like the guru, okay. Okay, good. So thank you for everyone. Thank you for joining and see you next
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
So Andra, how are you?
Manish.
Looking for which Andra? Me?
You are joining us after a long time, so we should ask you,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm joining you with the baby outside the belly. Eva is here with me.
Congratulations for a new guest at your home.
Thank you.
Okay, may I ask how many days have passed with this pregnancy?
It's been 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Okay, so we start the practice after 6 weeks of yoga, and this class is going to be a bit uh, heavy for you. So uh, stop wherever you think you can't. Okay, and
Okay.
then okay we can keep on modifying. Okay, so whenever you think, just take a break. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Lore, it's done. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so give me 2 more minutes. I will quickly change and then we'll start the class. Okay.
Okay.
No, we have 1 to 3 online. 5 more online. So
Okay.
yeah,
So it's not.
you're not the only one. We have 5 more. Again, what made you lazy this week, or what made you? Uh, yes, what made you lazy this week? Okay, so okay, 2 more minutes and we'll start. Okay,
Okay,
we just
no worries.
got late from our last event and we'll start. Yes. What made you lazy this week?
Oh, what I have done?
Sorry.
What I have done?
No, why you are not here this week?
I I don't know. I still have issues with my core gallbladder stones, and all week I barely could eat something.
Good. Okay. Okay, let's start. So Anna is so this class is, I guess, stretch and strength. Okay, strength and stretch. Okay, so we'll simplify this class a bit because there are a lot of new people and after a long break. Okay, Anna. So okay, good. So I will put Anna as so we'll make this class as more stretchy and less for strength. Okay, so